Alright, so here we are at the end of our matches, testing the Mono Blue Infect deck. We're just going to give some overall thoughts about the deck. Abby, what did you think about the deck?
To be honest, I really liked it.
You really liked it?
Yeah.
Why do you like it?
I thought it was really good. I liked the synergy with Grand Architect and how it affected all the creatures, like it boosted them very nicely and was really useful for mana in a pinch and everything. It was really good. So
yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. When Grand Architect first came out, it was a card that I immediately got 4 of because I thought it would be awesome, and I built many decks with it. And this is actually one of the first decks that I've been really happy with it in. I think it's a huge improvement over the stupid equipment we had in there earlier.
Creeping Carapace?
Creeping Carapace? Copper Carapace.
Copper Carapace.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the name, sorry.
Yeah, definitely improvement over that. I mean, we were boosting
definitely.
our guys, we were playing Contagion class, Necropedes, Tumble Magnets with it, we cleared up our mana for counterspells, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Grand Architect was great. But yeah, our matchups, we played first Tezzeret deck, we got destroyed. We did win that one match when he multi 4, but that doesn't really count.
Yeah, it doesn't really count, we got wasted that round.
Yeah, I mean, again, that wasn't even, we can't really classify that deck as an aggro deck, but we just got, when anything was beating us down and putting pressure on us, we just crumbled. When he had those 5/5 things that he made with Tezzeret, which was beating us down, or even just the Ink Moths, this deck really needs to have better aggro strategy.
Yeah.
I think. And then our second match was against the Mill deck, which was surprisingly good, even though we don't really have any way to recover from mills.
Yeah, it was a good matchup.
Yeah, I think it was a fine matchup. The archive traps weren't that great against us since he had to pay the full cost every time, since we never search our library for anything. It was pretty good. And then we played Birthing Pod deck, which it didn't seem like the greatest Birthing Pod deck in the world, but again, it didn't seem like a big deal. He was just playing guys, and as long as he wasn't, even though we got beat down by the Viridian Emissaries a little bit, it wasn't that big a deal because we just put up our defenses, got Proliferating Engine online, and eventually we won. It was fine. So I think, I mean, again, like we talked about with the blue-green overrun deck that we made last time, the whole reason we wanted to make it was because of Shared Discovery.
Yeah.
Right? That one card. And then at the end we were like, wow, Shared Discovery, it's not that great.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
And the whole reason we wanted to make this deck was because of the Contagion class Tumble Magnet combo. And how many times did we get off that combo throughout the whole
Did
test?
we get it off at all?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we got it off once. So I think maybe it would be better to forget about the combo a little bit and take out some amount of Tumble Magnets. And the Viral Drakes, I'm not sure if 4 is the right number, maybe 3 would be better. And again, the Contagion class, not too great in multiples, so we could even take out some amount of those. And I was thinking, to help our aggro matchup, we need something to come out later to like save the day. And what better thing to save the day and combo with Grand Architect than Wormcoil Engine?
Not a bad choice.
I mean, Wormcoil Engine, yeah, he's not the first card that comes to mind when you think budget decks, but and if you're playing with real life cards, everyone probably has a copy or two from the pre-release, first from Scars of Mirrodin. So if you have that, maybe put in 2 Wormcoils in place of the Contagion class, maybe an extra land in place of the Viral Drake, because getting more land is going to be necessary because you really got to get to 3 as soon as possible with Grand Architect out. And if you have Wormcoil, you want to be able to hard cast them if necessary. Yeah. And then maybe either 3 or 4 Treasure Mages so that you can search up Wormcoil Engines if necessary.
That's interesting. How much are Treasure Mages running for today?
They're uncommon. Maybe a tenth of a ticket at most.
Oh, so that's pretty budget.
Yeah, that's pretty budget. Of course, our matchup against Mill gets worse because we'll be searching our deck with Treasure Mage, but
yeah, it's not so good.
It's not so good. I don't think that's a huge issue.
Yeah. I mean, because how many people are running Mill decks, honestly?
Yeah, so I think that's one change we can think of. It gets closer to a real just Grand Architect deck at that point, but you have the amazing backup plan of Blighted Agent, Necropede, and Viral Drake, which was surprisingly resilient, especially Blighted Agent. I was very happy with Blighted Agent. If they just don't, if they don't have a removal spell, he just wins you the game. And compared with when combined with Grand Architect, he was just a powerhouse.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, and we could, if you take these cards out, we could then take out some amount of Ratchet Bombs or Spreading Seas or Flash Freezes, depending on what decks you're expecting to play. Replace them with Tumble Magnets or Contagion Clasps, and work that out. I think the Dispels are good because they protect the Blighted Agents and Viral Drakes, and Grand Architects, if you choose to make them a more of a centerpiece of the deck. So yeah, overall, on a scale again of 1 to 10, Abby, what would you rate this deck?
I give it an 8.
An 8? Wow, you gave the last deck, what, a 7?
Yeah.
So you like this one better than the last deck?
Definitely like this one better. I feel like it runs a little bit smoother. Like, it's not completely smooth, but it seems like it ran a lot smoother than the other deck.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot better that way. I mean, you have the Grand Architect in it. You have it working with all the blue creatures, and you can make the artifacts blue and work with that. Like, it's just a really good deck. I think.
It's not as much of a combo deck as the other deck is. I mean, the other deck you either had to combo with the guys getting +5/+5 and trampling your opponent, or you didn't. Whereas this deck it has a lot of different ways to win, which is nice. I think actually though I'm going to disagree with you.
That's fine.
I'm going to I gave the last deck an 8, I think, and I'm going to give this one a 7.
Really?
I mean,
we just reversed our last time.
I know, we reversed because I mean, we did win 2 out of 3 of our matchups, but I don't think the Birthing Pod deck was that great of a matchup, and I think if we had faced a real aggro deck, we would have just gotten crushed. I think this deck has a real weakness to aggro, but I'm just reading it as it is. I mean, if we made the changes, put in a Worm Coil or some other big creature that can save you in a pinch against aggro decks, and Treasure Mages, maybe another land or so, work on the sideboard a little bit, I think it definitely has potential. But I think as is, it needs a little work against the aggro matchup, and it just didn't have. I remember wanting threats when we were drawing lots of like Spell Pierces and Contagion Clasps and Tumble Magnets. They just weren't doing anything, and I think these changes that we have over here, taking out some of this fluff, might be good. I think that would help the deck a lot in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this deck, Mono Blue Infect, it was a lot of fun to play. I highly recommend it if you're looking for something fun. It's very cheap. The most expensive card is Ratchet Bomb at, I think, a 1/6 of a ticket.
Not bad at all.
Grand Architect was a 1/5 of a ticket, I think, and everything else was negligible, basically. So yeah, if you're looking for a cheap, fun deck to just have fun with, feel free to try it out. And I noticed that we tested these decks in the tournament practice room, where we just play against whatever decks we happen to be there. But if you're interested in testing our budget brews against your tier 1 decks, then feel free to drop me a message, me or Abbey a message. Of course, we might be awake when you're asleep, but if you see us online, drop us a message. We'd be happy to test our decks against your slightly more relevant decks. And yeah, we'll have a lot of fun. Tell us what you guys think in the comments, and we hope to see what you think about the decks.
Yep. See you soon.